Hello, everybody. This is Walter August, Pastor August here at the One Church at Bethel's Family. You know, and on these Monday mornings or Tuesdays, I normally do inspirational time of shining your light on different ministry personalities that's in the One Church. But also, we wanted to highlight today one of our partners. And one of our partners, of course, is TDECU, which is one of the larger credit union operations within the state of Texas and beyond. And today we have with us Ms. Laura Whitley, and she is actually the marketing president. And I want to thank you so much, number one, for the years of partnership with Bethel's Place, for allowing the organization at the credit union to partner with our young people as well. And then you guys come right around and partner with Bethel's Heavenly Hands. And that Heavenly Hands ministry serves thousands. And we want to tell you on behalf of the church family and all of our affiliates, we greatly appreciate the partnership, the collaboration, and the heart you guys have to serve, not just monetarily, but also putting in your physical time. But let me go ahead and start off by having you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your history, how you got to this point.
Well, first of all, Pastor August, it is really our pleasure and honor to be here today with you, and certainly appreciate the invitation. And I know on behalf of all of the TDECU family, all of my colleagues, and our members, you know, we're honored to be able to serve Bethel's Place and to participate in Heavenly Hands. You know, it's a journey that I believe began during a time of crisis,
yes,
back during the pandemic, and with some emergency food distribution, and has really grown from there. You know, but TDECU is founded on a pretty simple principle of people helping people.
Yeah.
So to be able to come and live that out in the times that we come and participate, you know, in the food distribution and the summer program and other things that we get to do with you, again, it's really our privilege. So. Yeah. Excited to be here. As you mentioned, yes, my name is Laura Whitley, and I am actually the Houston area, Greater Houston area market president,
yes,
for TDECU, and basically that means that I get to go across a pretty large region, about 100 miles end to end, east to west, and really get a sense of the pulse of the community and the needs there, and also business community and consumers and individuals, and really act as a bridge, connecting you know, people within those areas and business owners and community nonprofits to the credit union in different ways. So every day is a little different, but it's truly a privilege, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity to do that.
Now, I read a little bit about the history of the credit union. I'd like for you to share a little bit about the founding of the credit union.
Sure.
It started with just a few people. Would you like to share that story?
I would love to, because you know, it was actually one of the first things I learned about TDECU when I had the opportunity to interview with the organization a few years back. It was back in 1955.
Yeah.
There were a group of workers down in Lake Jackson, so just south of here in Brazoria County, and they worked for. They did work for Dow Chemical, and there was a need. They needed. One of their colleagues actually needed to buy an appliance.
Yeah.
As the story goes, it was a refrigerator, and so a group of workers, and you can kind of see how that could happen today, but a group of folks got together and each paid a small amount, $5 to $10 each, and formed the credit union.
Wow.
Those workers at the time didn't have access to financial services,
yes,
that you or I might think about, you know, particularly as it related to credit.
Yes.
And so they pooled their resources together. They filed the necessary paperwork, which was just a pretty simple form,
yeah,
with the state, and they formed Texas Dow Employee Credit Union.
Wow.
And it really has grown up from there over those years. But again, as I mentioned before, it was about people helping people. That's what it was then, and that's what it is today. But it was a cooperative movement, very grassroots,
yeah,
and grew up from there.
You know, and it's amazing when you have a history that rich And then you look at almost, 70 years almost coming up.
Yeah.
And what is the asset, what is the capability of the number of employees? I know you have different operational stations around the greater Houston area. How many and how many employees?
Yeah, so we, from those very humble beginnings, we've grown up to be just under a $5 billion, I think it's about $4.7 billion financial institute. Our footprint is pretty large. We have about 35 member centers and 38 service locations in total. We're, very well sort of spread out across the greater Houston area, Brazoria County, Fort Bend County, going all the way out to Victoria and Cuero, out that way. And then we also have locations going up into DFW as well. We have a couple centers there. And we were recently approved last year to expand our field of membership. And that basically means, where we can operate and where we can take our members from for the entire state of Texas.
Wow.
So, anyone who lives, works, worships, goes to school within the state of Texas can be a member of TDECU.
Wow. Now, because I know at one time, I look at credit unions as being kind of like an individual credit union for a company-based employee.
Right.
So that means it's more than just individuals that work for Dow. So it's across the board. Anybody so choose they want to join the credit union have an opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. And that's the same thing that I thought. Before I came to TDECU, I had some familiarity with credit unions, but I definitely, like a lot of them, you do have to have some type of affiliation to a particular employer or, an industry or something like that. At TDECU, we're really here for everyone. Again, across the state of Texas. And we have a visionary leader and, Isaac Johnson, our president and CEO, as well as our board. And there's, visions to grow beyond there. But we are here for everyone, and we're able to provide that opportunity, really inspired and following the footsteps of our founders.
Someone might ask the question, what's the difference between a banking institution and a credit union?
So one of the major differences between a credit union and a bank is that a credit union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative. And our shareholders, unlike a bank, are you may have noticed the terminology, members.
Yes.
We call our account holders members. And that is because the members are actually the shareholders. When someone opens an account at TDECU, they get actually, for example, if you opened a checking account, you'd have a checking account and you have what we call a share account. It operates like a savings account, if you will. But that represents your share as a member. And so where the difference really comes into play beyond, I guess, the structure of it all is as it relates to what we do with the profits that the credit union makes. The profits for the credit union, unlike a bank, are able to be reinvested back into the credit union for the benefit of the members.
Wow.
And so, that often will result in lower fees or, ideally no fees in some respects. Most of our accounts are free. And then certainly better rates.
Yeah.
So those are some of the primary ways. I think then one of the major other examples of the way we're able to use profits that banks may not is through investment in our communities where our members live and work. And so we're really able to keep that local control and bring those dollars and profits back into our communities. And that's really what brought us, here to Bethel's Place when we, started was that idea. We had that opportunity to invest those dollars here. And for an example, last year we, through time and monetary donations, we were able, as a credit union, to reinvest about $750,000
Wow.
back into our efforts through TDECU Cares, which is the philanthropic arm of the credit union.
Well, those are the things that brought you guys in partnership with Bethel's Place, Bethel's Heavenly Hands.
Yes.
And for those who know about the One Church model and know what we do here in Houston, those relationships are invaluable, and because it becomes a lifeline to so many people who are marginalized for a variety of different reasons. And then we think about Heavenly Hands, and you get a chance to be up close and look into the faces and hear some of the stories of some of the struggles that a lot of families are having. I'd like to hear a little bit, because I know last week, I think it was, you guys had a great deal of employees come and volunteer the entire day with Bethel's Heavenly Hands. What do you normally hear from your coworkers about this experience, and what are the takeaways?
You know, first of all, our coworkers, what I hear is they're excited when they find out we're coming. They want to know when it is, and then even immediately after the event, they want to know when can we come back.
Wow.
You know, I think that part of it, what I also notice is when you first walk in and people first show up to volunteer, they're sort of starting their volunteer shift. What they're amazed is that the clients, how many clients are already there.
Yeah.
And, you know, as we go day to day, and if you're not engaged in this work on a daily basis, sometimes you can forget or not realize the level of need that exists within our community. So it's really, you know, a wonderful opportunity for us to create greater awareness about the need that exists. And then it's empowering because you're immediately able to do something right then and there to help support. And I do think then it creates, you know, in conversation with my colleagues about ideas and thoughts about what else can we do? How else can we give back? So it's, you know, I think also there are comments that I've talked to about the expansiveness of the service that is provided here in your at Bethel's. It's not just the food distribution. There's so many services that are provided to the folks, and really that you all embrace the idea of being inclusive.
Yes.
And making sure that at the end of the day that the needs of the people that are coming are met.
Yes.
And you're really embracing that. And lastly, and I know you've recently celebrated the expansion.
Yes.
With the new facility. You know, the idea. I know when I first had the opportunity to come, I think it was about 18 months ago.
Yeah.
Just to see the growth in that time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
For among us as well, just to see how you all are able to grow and reach more people.
Well, that's one of the things that we've always keep at the forefront. When people make investments into any nonprofit, any organization, they want to be able to see at least you are expanding, and you got a visionary leader at the credit union. We have a visionary leader here. And so we don't just sit back and say, you know, we're not into the maintenance business.
Right.
We're going to be about growth. We're going to be about products and services. And when it comes down to small business owners, or just business owners in general, who are now might catch this segment and say, you know something, I like my company to get a hold of the credit union. Who do they call, and how do they get in contact, and what are those numbers, or what's the steps to engage in a process of collaborating to become members, whether a company or whether an individual?
Sure. No, I appreciate you asking that. One of the best ways for people to get in contact with us is really through our website.
Okay.
It's TDECU.org.
Okay.
And on there, there's really, first of all, a plethora of excellent information about our consumer services, about our services for small businesses, about our mortgages, about insurance, about financial planning options that we provide, and there's contact page forms on there,
okay,
and information for whatever is needed.
Okay.
We are full service, go far beyond lending, which is important, but they're really wherever our mission is to help people navigate their financial journeys, and so wherever someone is in their journey, their financial journey, we have services to provide them, and so. Again, on the website, tdecu.org, is where they can get plugged in and connected
Okay.
To those solutions.
Okay. Is there a basic 1-800 number or just a basic number across the board they can call?
Yes, the 1-800 number is there's a few, depending on what they're needing.
Okay.
The 1-800 number would be appropriate, but
Okay.
yes.
Because some people, they kind of still navigating
Yes,
the
yes,
website
yes,
and the internet for that
Yes,
reason. But when it come down to you personally, I kind of looked a little bit about your bio, and I'm always excited about a person's journey. And when it come down to inspiration, when I see a lot of our young people who are in a fog, trying to figure it out, even our high school juniors and seniors, what advice would you give these parents who have these young people? I know you got 2 sons.
Sure, 3.
That's 3 sons that's trying to figure out, how do I make sure they get in the right area of business or model? I know no one's perfect and we all have some learning curves.
Sure.
But what are some of those things you've learned that you can even pass on to some parents right now?
Really, I would encourage parents to certainly, basically, to speak to their children, keep the lines of communication open, and listen to help their children develop and lean into their passions.
Yeah.
Sometimes the idea of passion can seem frightening. Another way to think of passion is your gift, right? From more of a Christian perspective.
Yes.
I talk to my children a lot about the gifts that God has given to them.
Yeah.
And to, praying for clarity and discernment beyond, to understand what those gifts are and then to use those gifts. And so, those, the gifts and the gifts that you have sometimes may not always seem, I don't want to say it's so practical, if you will. I know when I told my parents that I wanted to go into communications and study journalism and do news reporting, they were very supportive. But they also, suggested that I might want to also study something else in school just in case, something, just sometimes as a backup. And not to say that a plan B or C is not a good idea, because I do that too as a parent. But I think it is okay and a great idea to help and work with your child to pursue what is really what they're really finding to be the most important thing.
Yeah.
Certainly you want them to be well-read and to study and to, attend class. And you really do have to be engaged as a parent along that journey. I'm living it, walking it today.
Yeah.
But I would say that, leaning into where they are most gifted and inclined, the path may not always be as clear for them.
Yeah.
You may not be able to see it, but if you walk along with them, I do think that they will they will be excited and be able to engage and perform at their best if they're doing something that is very important to them.
Yes.
And again, hopefully they are able to seek the guidance of the Holy Spirit and be able to have that clarity as they journey through developing what they are to be.
Yeah. Now, basically, when it comes down to the credit union and a financial plan, I know a lot of the curriculums in the schools, especially high school, and some even college, somehow they bypass, the ABCs of banking, the ABCs of learning how to budget and manage monies, those kind of things. And I know the credit union do have programs that focuses directly on the youth. You like to expound on that a little bit?
Sure. Thank you for that question. We do. We have an excellent financial wellness program, and led by a program manager who does go out into the schools, and even in summer programs,
Yes.
we had an opportunity to do something here, but to help teach youth and sometimes even adults some of the basics as it relates to budgeting, what are different types of accounts, basically to answer different types of questions. We even work with employers. We go and work with different types of companies and employers to speak to them about those programs as well. So I would say that, as it relates to financial wellness and education, it is truly a journey, and we're all always learning. We do have some resources on our website right now, and actually there's more that are coming on every day because we continue to expand and grow too. And so again, there are opportunities to learn more about that through TDECU.org as well.
Okay, that's a great segue into something that I want to go ahead and close with.
Okay.
Is that if we're able to forecast the future a little bit, and let's say it's 2024 now, what do you see the credit union, what do you see you guys say, let's just go 2030,
Okay.
6 years from now.
Okay.
Well, what's happening in 2030?
Oh, wow. In 2030, I better answer this right because I talked about my visionary leader. In 2030, ideally we have expanded. We are serving. I talked about what our size is right now. Hopefully we've expanded in terms of our growth, in terms of the assets that we have, and we are serving many more people. Right now our membership is a little under 400,000.
Wow.
And so ideally let's say double it. Why not?
Right.
Let's go ahead and do that, because at the end of the day, the opportunity and services that TDECU provides are really phenomenal. Again, from my kiddos who, I have teenagers who are starting off, who kind of need that first account, that first introduction, those basic tools so they can start learning how to manage their own finances, to folks like my parents that are retired and are, trying to make sure that they're able to care for themselves, through the rest of their lives and perhaps leave a legacy for the next generation. There's really something for everyone. And so the idea that we can reach farther and touch more people, and again, empower communities through our model, because we are a not-for-profit, and reinvest within the communities in which we live and work, it would be tremendous. So you talk about your work there in Louisiana as well. Visionary, I'd love to be able to come over there and support those efforts as well. So we can grow together.
That's around the corner.
Okay.
I want to thank you for your heart, not just being the marketing president, for the credit union here in Houston area. But also you are on the board of the March of Dimes.
Yes.
And you also have a passion, I kind of read a little bit, of just want to see people better.
It's true.
And that's commendable because we meet a lot of people, and a lot of people do extremely well. But every now and then you get a person that is not just doing it just for their own wealth benefit.
Right.
They continue to keep the doors open to make life better for others around them. And I want to thank you for that, commend you for that. And I'd like you to just share a little bit about your passion in a larger scope.
Well, I appreciate that, and you know, it almost feels uncomfortable to be thanked for other work because I do feel truly a deep sense of humility. You know, I'm very fortunate and blessed, and I'm driven by the scripture, to whom much is given, much is required.
Yes.
And so, you know, yes, when I try to act on the operation of yes, and you know, when I am asked to participate and serve, to definitely explore those opportunities. So you mentioned the March of Dimes Houston.
Yes.
That is a cause that really is about having healthy babies and healthy mothers. And we in Texas live in a place where, unfortunately, our rates of premature birth and maternal mortality are pretty poor. And the March of Dimes is extremely active in terms of shedding light and providing dollars to research and look for ways to make it safer for our mothers and for our babies. And so to be able to partner and support March of Dimes in this effort is, again, a privilege. I really, every day get up and just really feel thankful for the opportunity to serve. And so that's what I'm driven by.
Well, that's a blessing because, people always like to have I guess the human side of the story of the purpose and the will and why do you do what you do. And I can understand why God has truly blessed you in your endeavors. We're excited here at Bethel's Family, Bethel's Place, Bethel's Heavenly Hands, Bethel's Global Reach, Bethel's Family Christian Academy, because we do believe that it takes all of us working together collaboratively to move the engine of our city. And we love Houston. We love the greater metroplex of this particular region, millions of people, but also millions of challenges. And I just want to, again, thank the credit union for partnering at this level and beyond, and anything that we can do. And it's just not for Bethel's Place or Heavenly Hands or whatever with the Bethel brand. If there's some place else that you guys are working and serving, and we can get volunteer opportunity to go and join, please know the same thing that your employees have done with Bethel's Heavenly Hands. We will also get people to go anywhere and help serve in any place.
Wow.
That's been our heart, and we've always been that way. Through storms, through hurricanes, we have one of the greater or the largest database of volunteers to this particular region. And if there's a will, there's a way, and we will support.
Wow, that's
So I want to
tremendous.
make sure you know that Bethel's Family, Bethel's Place, Bethel's Heavenly Hand, we're also partnering, that will partner with you as you partner with others.
Understood. Well, thank you so much for that offer, because my mind's already spinning about potential opportunities.
By all means, by all means.
Yes.
And one more time, if someone wanted to email you, can you just look in the camera and give them your email address so they can email you? That'd be great.
Absolutely. Sure. If you'd like to email me directly, I'd love to hear from you. My email address is lwhitley, WHITLEY, @tdecu.org.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you again so much for taking your Monday morning to come and spend
it's my pleasure.
a few minutes here.
It feels like old
And
times.
by all means, in Bethel's family, One Church, and even the Houston community, and those who are outside, because we do have a listening audience in Louisiana and a few
Okay.
other places. But thank you all for allowing these segments as we continue to highlight what's going on within our city that's also impacting thousands of lives. And then the story, the history of the credit union is phenomenal. I love history. Okay. So thank you all so very much. God bless all of you. And the Lord's will, we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.